Mr. Speaker, the statement of the majority leader usually does not elicit debate because it's more of agenda setting for the coming period. But, Mr. Speaker, I'd like the leadership of the House, when they retreat, to look urgently into the issue of the additional allocations bill that is supposed to take money to counties. Mr. Speaker, it is unfortunate that money that is coming from the World Bank, the NIDA, and several other donors is still stuck at the Treasury and is not going to the counties. The additional allocations bill was supposed to unlock what we used to call conditional grants. And Mr. Speaker, many counties had built in their budgets and in their project proposals that money was coming in. Part of that money was going into agriculture, part of it was going into the health sector, part of that money was going into sanitation, part of that money was going into infrastructure, the Kenya Urban Support Program. Part of that money was going into capacity building, the Devolution Support Program. Mr. Speaker, some of these grants are expiring. Some of them are expiring this year, and that money has not gone to counties. What we need is the chair to direct the Committee on Finance and the SBC also to give directions to the Committee on Finance to make this their topmost priority. And Mr. Speaker, we can borrow a leaf from the National Assembly, where Speaker Wetangula has ruled that there are certain bills that do not have to go through pre-publication scrutiny, so that they can be fast-tracked and brought to the House. Mr. Speaker, how I wish, when the majority leader was telling us about the business of the Senate in the coming days, that there would be a comment that this House would definitely consider at first reading the additional allocations bill. This is an emergency. This is extremely important. The World Bank, the NIDA, and all these other donors cannot understand us. They have given money, they have brought money to be taken to our counties, and yet this Senate and Parliament as a whole is moving at the pace of a snail. Mr. Speaker, our governors cannot understand us. This money is supposed to be with them, and yet this Parliament, Senate, and National Assembly cannot agree on small things. Mr. Speaker, the people in counties cannot understand us. This matter has been pending for far too long. And Mr. Speaker, I wish you could direct either the Chair of Finance or the leadership of this House to make this the topmost priority of this House. And even if we have to come back during that period of recess, let it be, so that this money can go to counties, this money can save lives, and this money can unlock productivity in our counties. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Senator Kajwang. Point of order, your point of order, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, listening to Senator Kajwang, I find him grossly out of order. Whereas the issues that he is articulating indeed are urgent and relevant, but he cannot use the platform of imputing improper motive, suggesting inefficiency on the part of the leader of the majority, Mr. Speaker, when he knows what he's supposed to do. And Mr. Speaker, it could be that he doesn't know. The senator should be well guided by the chair that the issues he's raising, Mr. Speaker, he should not raise from a point of order. He's free to raise a statement in which he'll ask for all those answers. And if he wants us to come as the majority side, he should now be informed, Mr. Speaker, that those things concern the counties represented by members of the minority just as they concern us. However, we have to operate within the standing orders, Mr. Speaker. And I'll be glad to inform you that this morning we now put our government in place, and obviously from all departments of government you'll be getting the answers that you require. Please hold your horses. Otherwise you'll be ruled and adjudged out of order.
Senator Minority Leader, you have a point of order as well?
Yes. Bwana Spika, asante sana kwa kunipa nafasi hii. Bwana Spika, kitu cha kwanza ni kwamba taratibu za bunge ni kwamba ikiwa alikuwa anataka kumueleza Seneta Kajwang kuhusikana na taarifa fulani, angekuwa amekwambia sio hoja ya nidhamu. Angekuwa anataka kusema taarifa kumueleza ili yeye apate kujua na aseme nimekubali, muache ndugu yangu aweze kunieleza. Lakini hakuuliza swali la kwamba anataka kumueleza Kajwang. Kwa hiyo yeye ndio ako totally out of order. Yeye amejitoa kabisa. Cha pili, Bwana Spika, ni kwamba Seneta Kajwang amesema kitu cha muhimu sana, ya kwamba dada yetu asisahau ikiwa watu wanaenda kwa likizo kama hii, ingekuwa muhimu kusisitiza jambo kama lile, ya kwamba serikali ithibitike, ijihusishe sana, kwamba serikali zetu za mashinani zinahitaji hizo senti. Tuko hapa sote kama maseneta kwa sababu ya serikali za mashinani. Tuwapelekee waweze kutengeneza hizo serikali zao. Tukikosa kuwapelekea ama kukosa kuweka taratibu za muhimu hapa, wale hawawezi kupata pesa. Kwa hiyo yeye hakukosea, alikuwa anawakumbusha wale walio ndani ya serikali waweze kujua kupitia kwa kiongozi walio wengi. Asante Bwana Spika.
Thank you, Senator Madzayo. Kajwang, you want to say something, Senator Kajwang?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage the majority whip not to be jittery. I was not imputing any inefficiency on the part of the majority side. In fact, this has nothing to do with the cabinet that was sworn in today. Mr. Speaker, in June 2022, the additional allocations bill was brought to Parliament. We were not able to agree with the National Assembly on things that I think are small matters. Mr. Speaker, this matter is entirely in our hands, and my appeal was for fast tracking. What I was trying to do was to raise that sense of urgency, because perhaps our colleagues who have joined the Senate just this August might not be privy to the joking and all the lobbying that went into getting the additional allocations bill. Mr. Speaker, this bill, just definitions alone, took us such a long time to move from conditional grants to additional allocations. Mr. Speaker, I just want to encourage the whip and the majority leader and the minority leader. They sit in the Senate Business Committee. They have the power and they have the mandate to organize the business of the House and whatever comes to this House. And Mr. Speaker, it is not out of order for you as a Speaker or for SBC to tell the Finance Committee that this is a matter of urgency and we shall have failed in our role as a Senate. If this money, the financial year comes to a close, if this money has not gone to counties, and if some of these programs expire before the money goes to counties, and Mr. Speaker, just as I finalize on that correction to the majority whip, 3 very important bills that this Senate processes: the division of revenue, the allocation of revenue, and now the additional allocations bill. We have processed the 2 successfully, but the third one, we have no excuse to the counties and to the nation and to the donors if we do not fast track the additional allocations bill.
Thank you very much, Senator Kajwang. I have restrained myself from intervening because yours truly sits as a member of